The sky above Toowoomba, Australia had turned an ominous shade of gray, a harbinger of the devastation to come. Rain fell relentlessly, transforming the serene streets into roaring rivers. For Jordan Rice, a 13-year-old boy terrified of water and unable to swim, the rising floodwaters were the stuff of nightmares. But Jordan wasn't one to let fear dictate his actions. On that fateful day, Jordan, his mother Donna, and his younger brother Blake were caught in their car as the floodwaters surged around them. The streets had become unrecognizable, consumed by a torrent that seemed determined to claim everything in its path. As the vehicle rocked under the force of the rushing water, a grim realization set in. They were trapped. The rescue. A roar pierced the sound of the raging waters. It was a truck, and inside was a rescuer who had braved the deadly currents to offer a lifeline. He came equipped with a rope, hope glinting in his eyes despite the chaos. It was a desperate mission, one he knew could go wrong at any moment. The family clung to the promise of safety. The rescuer waded toward the car, his movements slow and calculated, every step a battle against the relentless flood. The cold water licked at their legs, inching higher as if taunting them. When the rescuer reached the car, he turned to Jordan first, extending his hand. But Jordan, with wide eyes and a trembling voice, made a plea that silenced the storm in the man's heart. "Save my brother first," Jordan said, his words resolute despite the fear etched into his young face. The rescuer hesitated. The boy was clearly petrified, his fear of water visible in the way his body shivered, not from cold but from dread. Yet there was no room for argument. Jordan's determination left no doubt. A brother, salvation. The rescuer lifted Blake from the car, securing him with the rope. The boy's cries were muffled by the storm as he was carried to safety. Every second felt like an eternity as the rescuer fought against the current, holding tight to both Blake and the fragile hope that he could return in time. When Blake reached solid ground, he turned back to the car, tears streaming down his face. "Jordan, Mom?" he cried, his voice breaking. But there was no time to console him. The rescuer was already heading back, the rope taut in his grasp. As the man approached the car, the current seemed to double its fury. The waters surged, battering the vehicle and the rescuer alike. Donna held onto Jordan, her arms a shield against the chaos. But fate is cruel, and in moments of despair, it often strikes hardest. The rope snaps. A sickening snap cut through the air. The rope, their lifeline, broke under the strain of the floodwaters. For a moment, time seemed to pause. The rescuer froze, horror spreading across his face as he realized what had happened. The torrent surged forward, a beast unleashed. The car shifted violently, and in a heartbeat it was swept away. Donna and Jordan clung to each other, their screams swallowed by the relentless waters. The rescuer shouted after them, his voice drowned by the storm. He reached for another rope, but the current was merciless, dragging the car farther and farther until it disappeared from view. A father's grief. John Tyson, Jordan's father, stood at the edge of the flood zone, his face a mask of anguish. News of the tragedy had reached him too late to act, leaving him to grapple with the unbearable truth. He had lost not just his son but his partner as well. Jordan was terrified of water, John said later, his voice trembling with sorrow. He couldn't swim, but he still chose to save his brother first. That's courage. That's love. The words hung heavy in the air, a tribute to a boy whose bravery had eclipsed his fears. Jordan's sacrifice was more than an act of heroism. It was a testament to the strength of the human spirit, even in the face of insurmountable odds. A community united. The floods had wreaked havoc across Toowoomba, leaving devastation in their wake. But amidst the ruin, stories of resilience and sacrifice began to emerge. Jordan's tale spread quickly, touching hearts far beyond the borders of Australia. People gathered to honor the boy who had put his brother's life before his own. Candles were lit, prayers whispered, and tributes poured in from around the world. Jordan's name became synonymous with heroism, a beacon of light in a time of darkness. Other stories of survival. The floodwaters spared few in Grantham. Another family fought their own battle against the deluge. James Perry, his wife Jenny, and their young son Ted were stranded on the roof of their car, clinging to hope as rescuers worked tirelessly to reach them. Jenny and Ted were saved, but James was swept away, his fate still uncertain. Elsewhere, a miracle unfolded in the Lockyer Valley. Amidst the chaos, a baby was born. Callum Wayland entered the world as floodwaters raged outside, his father tying the umbilical cord with a shoelace in a moment of quick thinking. The baby's cries became a symbol of hope, a reminder that life persists even in the harshest conditions. Jordan's legacy. For John Tyson, the pain of losing Jordan and Donna is a wound that will never fully heal. Yet he finds solace in the legacy his son left behind. Jordan's story isn't just about loss, John said. It's about love. It's about selflessness. It's about the kind of courage we all hope we'd show in the same situation. The community has rallied to support those affected by the floods, their efforts a tribute to those they lost. And as they rebuild, they carry with them the memory of Jordan Rice, a boy who, in his final moments, chose love over fear.